Good Saturday morning to you all. Hopefully you guys are doing great. We got our Watchmen update. We got a lot of news dropped just before the weekend. We got prices disappearing from Walmarts across the United States. These are your reports. We got Canadian post offices closing. There's a major strike across Canada. We got the FBI director of the United States getting arrested. No sporting events for crime hotspots. That's the new word out of the White House. We got new tariffs being announced. We got rotisserie chickens disappearing and a whole lot more. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade, and these are your updates that you guys are sending in from all over. If you have something to share, make sure you use the word update somewhere in your comment. That gets it to the right place. If you have a retirement account, an IRA, a 401k, and you've been wondering about what to do with it, do you want to get out of the stock market while it's at all-time highs and as you see the economy deteriorating around you? If you do, and you want to be part of and partner with people who are of faith, that have like values that you do, Jonathan and his team at Genesis Gold can walk you through what it looks like to transition some of your retirement account or all of your retirement account over into physical precious metals. If you want to find out more, there'll be a link at the end of the video. All right, the Canadian Post Office has gone on strike. So the workers at the post offices have gone on strike after the government had the audacity to try to institute reforms. The Canadian Post Office is very similar to the United States Post Office, which is saying a lot of bad stuff. A lot of bad stuff. The U.S. Postal Service seems to be losing a significant portion of the mail that's getting sent. And Canadian Post Office also having a lot of issues. And as they try to fix it, of course, all the workers are in a union, so they can just basically say, nope, we don't want to change. All right, former FBI Director James Comey, we told you that this was coming. Some of you guys are like, that's fake news, it's not going to happen. Well, it did happen. So the indictment has come down to two felony charges, false statements under oath to Congress and obstruction of a congressional proceeding. These are serious charges, and these indictments stem from Comey's virtual testimony before the Senate Judiciary Committee on September 30th, 2020. Comey stated that no, when he was asked if he had ever authorized someone at the FBI to serve as an anonymous source about the Trump-Russia investigation to news reports. He apparently charged workers at the FBI to leak information intentionally on the Trump-Russia investigation to news reporters, and then he lied to Congress about that. This is a serious charge. He took an oath, and then he just lied in front of Congress. We'll see what happens next. Supposedly, Comey is supposed to surrender himself sometime today, and he is not supposed to be, warrant for his arrest isn't supposed to be issued. He's supposed to just surrender himself, which I don't know. That's too good for him. Remember, this is the guy who destroyed General Flynn by lying about him and then bragging about how he destroyed General Flynn. Like, there's video of it. He's a horrible person. A horrible person. A total political hack. And yet he wielded the Justice Department like it was a political weapon. And we all know too well that this is just the least of the charges that should come against him. All right, a strong 5.9 magnitude earthquake struck off the United States Oregon coast. There was a tsunami warning, but there were no immediate reports of any damage on land. We got news out there that just to give you a little bit of an idea where the economy is, in August, U.S. disposable income was up 0.1%, which is definitely not keeping up with inflation. And then, on the other hand, disposable income spending up 0.4%. So people spending more money than they're bringing in extra. Just kind of goes to show that we are moving in the wrong direction when it comes to wealth in the United States. All right, President Trump has announced new tariffs on pharmaceuticals, trucks, and furniture. The U.S. will impose a 100% tariff on any, all branded or patented pharmaceutical products entering the country from October 1st. The measure will not apply to companies building drug manufacturing plants in the United States. So if they start moving in the right direction, they get basically a pass. So all these drug companies need to start building those manufacturing plants in the United States, or they're going to start getting hit with this massive 100% tariff on all that. It is cheaper and better to make those pharmaceuticals in the United States than it is to make them in China. That is the word out there that President Trump is sending. All right. Also will impose a 25% import tax on all heavy-duty trucks and a 50% levy on kitchen and bathroom cabinets, as well as some other furniture. That is supposed to support U.S.-based businesses. A lot of those cabinets are junk, and they're coming from China, and yet they're just so cheap, right? Well, they're not so cheap anymore. American-made stuff is going to be back on the store shelves. President Trump signaled that he could funnel aid to American farmers, a big political support base that have been hit by the trade wars. He said, we're going to take some of that tariff money that we've made and we're going to give it to the farmers. This is to support U.S.-based farmers because they are being retaliated against by the European Union and especially by China. They need some support. China is shopping for its soybeans elsewhere. They're also sourcing a lot of their meat purchases in other places other than the United States. Now, we do have a meat shortage in the United States, so we shouldn't cry too much about that. But China is definitely trying to hurt U.S. farmers in order to punish President Trump for the tariffs against China. All right, the United States has rejected the WHO's non-communicable diseases declaration. Now, if you're like, wait a minute, why is the World Health Organization dealing with non-communicable diseases, right? Communicable diseases are diseases where it spreads. Like, that's what it means, right? It's a disease that spreads. Why are they doing anything about diseases that don't spread? Like, what is a disease that doesn't spread? U.S. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Rejected the United Nations political declaration on non-communicable diseases, saying it pushes destructive gender ideology. Yes, that's what it's about. Non-communicable diseases is stuff like thinking you're the wrong person. Anyway, while ignoring the most pressing health issues out there. How about they get back to focusing on the diseases that we can catch, not the diseases that are happening up here. All right. President Trump has also said that he will move World Cup games. The United States is hosting the World Cup. I know. It's a soccer game. The rest of the world calls it football, but it's not real football. And the United States is hosting the game that other people in the world play. But President Trump has said that he will move the World Cup games from cities he thinks are not safe. So the 2026 World Cup will be held across several states, including Democrat-run cities such as New York, Los Angeles, Seattle, San Francisco. 4 different cities that aren't all that safe, are they? And if they don't clean up their act, President Trump says he's just going to move it to new cities. Because other cities have sports stadiums and they don't have the crime problems that some of these absolute disasters have. Maybe we should move it down to Tennessee, see what happens there. E says, Central Pennsylvania, over the last 2 weeks, there has been a shift in Amazon deliveries. More personal vehicles, one at 6:15 a.m. and tonight one at 10 to 8 in the evening. A package with a guy driving an F-150. I think it's a sign of how tough times are. That they're not driving Amazon vehicles, they're driving their own personal vehicles. People are struggling to get by, and they're picking up a second, third, fourth job. We're seeing this in the statistics out there. People are struggling even with a full-time job, or they're getting pushed into multiple part-time jobs because they just can't get a decent job that's going to replace the income. All right, we've been talking about the Keystone beef prices that have changed. Here's a couple of reports on that. Ken, Keystone price rise. Ground beef went from $9.92 here to $11.46. This is in Northeast Tennessee. Switching to pork, which has gone from $9.94, has gone up to $9.94 from $8.98. So pork not going up as much as the beef is. Also, canned corned beef, a lot of that's imported, has gone from $4.44 to $6.72. So you can see up over $2.30 right there. That's a big deal there too. That's almost a 50% increase. The imported beef is worse than the local beef, right? Desert says Keystone beef at Walmart in southern Arizona, 14-ounce cans, that's the smaller ones, $5.47, now $6.94. So $1.50 up, which is over a 30% increase there on that one. 28-ounce can is now $11.55. The 28-ounce cans were like in the $9 range, but now it's up significantly. So if you see Keystone beef prices that haven't changed or haven't adjusted upwards, you might want to swoop in and grab those. Some of you guys are reporting some sales on the Keystone ground beef where the price is basically the same as it was before. You might want to swoop in and grab that real fast because it may not stick around very long. All right, Debbie says, went to get groceries yesterday at our small town in north central Arkansas. Shopped 3 different stores looking for a rotisserie chicken. Went to 3 different stores for my family's dinner, and there was none. At the 3rd store, I asked an employee what happened to the chicken, as there used to be lots on display for the customers. The employee told me that there weren't any chickens on the trucks this week, and she didn't know when they might be available again. She had one cold one, so not a hot one, but one, the day after. I paid $8 for that one for my family's meal. Last week, the same store was out of packages of ground beef as well. Usually they have plenty. Things are really getting hard to find and getting super expensive. Don't know what I would do if not for home canned food. Families are suffering. People are having trouble with employment. And then when they go to the grocery store, they're getting kicked in the teeth. That's what's happening. And people are taking it pretty hard. What do you do? What do you do? People aren't used to their grocery budget taking up this big of a percentage of their take-home income. And for people on fixed incomes, it means that they have to cut other things. Jody says, South Dakota, we are having a record number of sand fleas and Asian beetles here. I talked to my neighbors and they also have the same issue, even after spraying their exterior with ortho. Going outside is now painful and very annoying. I now think I have a swarm of them after me. There's nowhere to go. They are all over the inside and outside of our homes. Once again, that's South Dakota. Backyard Food Freedom says Fort Wayne, Indiana area. Went to Walmart tonight and it was odd to say the least. About half the things I wanted to buy had a barcode label below them, but no price. It was rather difficult to find a price, and when I could, I noticed that anything I buy on a regular basis was higher by about 20% or more. Prices shifting upwards and Walmart is doing more to hide those prices from you. We already talked about yesterday about how they are starting to turn their screens away from you so you can't see what they're scanning, what the prices are for each individual item. You're not allowed to know that. You just need to pay and then hope to discover what you paid, right, for each thing. It's sort of like a bill from Congress. You got to pass it in order to find out what's in it, right? Gail says, I bought tortillas for tacos for my family last night. On opening them, they already had mold inside. I looked at the expiration date again, November 2025. They're just not handling food the way they should be in order to keep it from going bad. We're seeing that the shipping, the quality of taking care of the food products along the supply chain is not like it used to be. And they're certainly not checking these things like they used to make sure that only good stock gets put out in front of people. They're putting just whatever garbage they happen to have out on the shelves and hoping you guys don't notice. Please be checking everything before you buy it. Tegan Wind says, in Winnipeg, about geese, they still have not come out of the north yet. It's still too warm up north. When they show, if they don't just fly over, they won't stay long. The migration will happen all at once, and it's still roughly on schedule. So we'll keep an eye on that. We got all sorts of stuff happening with birds out there, don't we? The ecosystems are changing, and not for the better. Miss Felina says, since I wasn't seeing organic pasture-raised eggs on my Costco in LA, for weeks now I asked about it, and they said it looks on the system like it's discontinued or deleted. So no more organic pasture-raised eggs are coming to that store. The only location nearby that is still getting them in La Habra, California, was getting some. So I called and waited 3 days again to check and finally got them where they said they have it in stock. And the price is $7.99 for 2 dozen. Not sure who else and what location, what other locations are having trouble finding them. So some organic eggs having issues there. Pollyanna says, northern burbs in the wasteland of Chicago. Make sure you put your flak jacket on, your helmet on before you go outside, right? I usually buy a 9-ounce can of Hill's Brother or Maxwell House coffee at the dollar store for $5. I haven't been able to find them anymore at several of the dollar stores anymore. Of course, prices on coffee are going up like nobody's business. And I think this report right here just tells you all you need to know about what's going on out there. Uncle Sam says Florida Panhandle. Dentists said that they are down to 3 days a week. They're only working 3 days a week now for this dentist. For 2 reasons. Employee situation is very bad, but it's also the slowest business that they've had in 15 years. People are too broke to get their teeth fixed. Doesn't that tell you everything that you need to know? People are opting to buy food at inflated prices than they are to getting their teeth fixed anymore. That is considered something that people can put off. They can put it off for a little bit. And so that's what people are doing. They're making choices. And when people can't afford to get their teeth fixed, that's telling you what you need to know about what's going on in America. All right, friends, please do keep your reports coming in. Make sure you use the word update. Let us know what you're seeing at your store shelves. Let us know what you're hearing at your workplaces. And as you talk to people, what you're hearing about the supply chain and how it's impacting people. As you're hearing people struggling, ask them what's going on. Where are they feeling the pain? Please do keep passing those reports on. Make sure you use the word update. Thanks so much for watching. If you want to check out another video from this channel, there's one right up here. If you want to get some more information from Genesis Gold about what you can do with your retirement account, there's a link right there on the screen. Thanks so much for watching. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report out.